storied ball clubs from one from the deep south and one from the northeast. We know BABC gonna come play now. They come hard at you. They have great defense, great intensity. Jackson Tigers, team that's known for their athleticism, their quickness, the up and down game. This is gonna be an interesting one. Great athletes, great size. This looks like college team out here now. We got some men on the floor.
We do see some big bodies here. Leroy Buchanan wears number 5 for the Jackson Tigers. They're dressed in white from Madison Central High School. Sean Buchanan, also from Madison Central High School. I'm going to say those two guys are related. Antonio Cowart, number 10 from Macomb High School. Khalil Turner from John Curtis High School, and Tristan Wally from Hattiesburg.
And John Curtis High School is in Marrero, Louisiana.
All right.
He's a bring-in out from Louisiana.
He snuck in across the border, huh?
That's right.
All right. Amani Santos wears number 1 for BABC. Terrence Mann, who was a big star the other night. There's a quick dunk on the inside by Leroy Buchanan to get things started for Jackson. Bruce Brown with the basketball right now for BABC. Terrence Mann was the man a couple nights ago against All Ohio. He had a big night. He's got the basketball right now to Brown. Over to Santos. They'll swing it into the corner for Mann. Also into the game, Jeremy Miller, number 34.
He was a shot blocking machine the other night.
Yes, he was. And number 31 is Bobby Martin Jr. There's the 5 starters for BABC. They missed the opening shot. To the basket goes Jackson. Fight for the rebound. Here comes Santos back the other direction. The 5'11" kid from Catholic Memorial High. This team based out of Boston, Mass. There's Mann in the lane. To Miller, jumper on the way for 3. It's good. Bobby Martin from the Tilton School. One of the prep schools up there in the Northeast.
Yeah, the kids from Boston like to go to those prep schools. They get out of town to go to school, but then they come back to play for BABC and Leo Papil, who's done a great job with this program for the last 30-some years. You know, over the years, he's had some great players. Patrick Ewing played for him back in '88. Brian Keefe, 94, played for Oklahoma.
Nice
City.
Steal by Brown. Bruce to the hole, lay it up and good.
Some names the folks today would remember, a little bit more current time frame, although people will remember Patrick Ewing, of course.
Well, Patrick been a little earlier than 1988. He'd been in the NBA by that time, so he's got to be earlier than that.
Well, they don't know their years.
That's
anyway,
not right.
Anyway.
They won the national championship at Georgetown in 1983-84, didn't they?
That's right. I was going to say that you are correct. Nerlens Noel. 012, Michael Carter Williams played with him in 2011. Jeff Adrian, Phil Pressey. I mean, that's pretty good. We could have a pretty good ball club with that group.
Yeah, I know I don't have a great memory, but I do remember 1985 when Villanova beat
That's
Georgetown
right.
in the
I do
national
remember that.
game.
You're right, that game. That was the 85-84 Howard Porter hit the shot at the end of the ball game.
That was 3 teams from the Big East. St. John's with Chris Mullins and Curtis Berry also in that Final Four.
See,
along with Memphis.
I'm old enough that I remember it now that you bring up who it was, and didn't take long for me to get Howard Porter out there.
Yeah. 5-2 our score early, BABC, and there's a look at the dunk to get the game started. Nice lob on the inside, a dunk by Leroy Buchanan.
That must have been one of them typographical errors they gave me. It should have been 83. But actually wouldn't have played with it. It would have been 81 because that was the year he graduated from high school.
Yeah, it could have been 78. He could have been 12 years old for all we know. There's a shot by Cowart. He's bumped and fouled. Lamont Roy, the head coach for Jackson. And you mentioned Leo Papali. His daughter, you said she's a team contact, right? Sitting right next to him. Now,
that's right.
Now, if we get a shot at the bench, we have a shot at the bench right now. Where's the dog? Okay.
I think that he's sitting. You see the gentleman behind back there? I think that actually he's under control at that point. But once the game is over, the dog is on the floor with Leo.
Okay, so the dog's not there now on the bench. Okay.
No.
I didn't see the dog. I heard the dog yapping right there.
I heard the dog, though. He's very unhappy with the play early of the BABC squad. He wants a little more defense.
5-4 early. BABC in the black and gold uniforms. Reminiscent of your Iowa Hawkeyes and my Missouri Tigers. Actually, my high school as well. Nothing better than black and gold, right? Just a gorgeous look.
It does have a nice, clean look.
Absolutely. There's a basket up and good by Bruce Brown.
Unless you're from central Iowa, they don't really like it much there. Around Ames, it's not real popular.
I like that maroon and stuff, whatever that color is.
Crimson gold with white trim.
Okay, they got the gold part right. There's Coward in the left baseline. Jumper shot no good. Rebound to Leroy Buchanan. Turnaround good. Buchanan with now 4 points, 7-6.
Now, I've never seen this on any other team, but you see the Jackson Tigers, the first team in this tournament to have all matching shoes.
Yes, they do. They're an anomaly. We'll call them an outlier. Here's Terrence Mann with the basketball. Left side for Santos.
Bunch of outlaws.
Outlier. Yeah. Not of the norm. Out top again for Santos.
They just had to be different and be alike.
We will see in this game the best football player in the tournament will be in this game later on. Kristen Wilkins will be with us. He plays for BABC, and he is a horse.
Yeah, 6'5", 300 pounds, but moves like he weighs about 220.
And a future defensive end somewhere in major college football.
And the amazing thing was, I told him, I said, you were 3 inches taller, we compare you to Glenn Davis. He said, no, Bill Russell.
Is that what he said? I heard you talking to him after the game.
No,
said,
Bill Russell. No. He said, no, go Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. You need to be about 7 inches taller to be Bill Russell. There's a triple on the way and good by Antonio Coward.
I told him he had to lose 100 pounds.
Or be 7'6". You know, not that Bill was that tall, but he needs to be a little taller, yes. Here's Mann, left side for Brown. They play catch out top. Looking left side to the wing. It's open. Bobby Martin with it. Brown lost it. 2:50 to go, a low-scoring game so far, 9-7. Here's Santos. BABC content, not really pushing pressure here, just taking their time, looking for the good shot. Out top now for Brown. Left side, Santos. Down low for Mann. Back to Santos, he'll fire an open three. Plenty of passing there, couldn't get the shot to go. Mann got the ball back in the rebound. Fight for it, body's on the floor. Brown had it, lost it. Still free, and finally they're gonna call a foul. Or a kickball, they're gonna call it a kick, I guess. Hard to call a foul on anybody there, guys are just hustling for the basketball.
That's right, everybody on
Called
the floor. Nobody seemed to be creating an advantage for anybody else, but good jump ball call.
On that kick goes on number 32, Tristan Wally. The end of the game now, number 5, Thomas Mobley. Right in front of us, he'll inbound. To Mann. Terrence been quiet early here in the game.
Yes, Terrence was a force last night. Had 20 plus. And just seemed to make play after play after play for him.
Looking inside, 2:05 to go. Here's Mann. One of the new things you're seeing in athletes now, you see it on Terrence Mann there, that tape on his right knee. It's not exactly sure. You see it in tennis players. There's a 3-ball by Brown. It's up and good. You see it on golfers. Look at him with the tape on the right knee there. I was trying to get a look at that, what exactly that does. You can see it right here. There's a whistle and a foul. Try and get a better look at the right knee of Terrence Mann.
The only thing I can tell you is that if your kneecap has a tendency to move a little bit, it would stabilize the bottom side.
Well, I've seen it. I think it's instead of kids wearing a knee brace or wearing an ace bandage or something like that. I remember watching the U.S. Women's Open Golf Tournament. Michelle Lee had it all over her body. It's a way to keep a muscle tight.
To me, it would be an irritation. It would irritate me just having it on there.
And you see other guys wearing the long leggings as well.
Well, as an old man with bad circulation, I know once in a while you got to wear those, but it's for a different reason.
Right. 10-9 BABC. Out of the Boston area, taking on the Jackson Tigers from Jackson, Mississippi. Nice high-low, down-low, put up, shots blocked from behind. And back the other way, that shot was taken by Wally. Here's Mobley out top for Mann. Terrence looking inside. Back to Mobley, he's open left wing for 3, got it. 3-point shot.
Quick flip, kind of an unorthodox release, but boy, it's right through the middle of the net.
From Newton North High School, Thomas Mobley, his first points tonight. 13-9, BABC on top. Hop to the hole, Buchanan, and Coward, I should say, shot no good. Back the other way comes Brown, this time in a gallop. Up ahead for Mann, he lost it, and he did lose it out of bounds. Thought he saved it, couldn't do it.
It's one of those deals where he was making the move before he had the basketball.
Antonio Cowart. He's an incoming junior from Macomb High School. 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Looks for a teammate in Sean Buchanan. Back to Cowart. Cowart apparently has a waist about a 14. He's got his pants harness pretty good. Shot up and no good. I don't think I've ever seen anybody's pants, especially these days in basketball, tied as tightly.
Well, he doesn't want to make sure they don't get away.
As Antonio does. Well, got to get Antonio a waist. 12 seconds to go in the quarter. He's got the waistband flipped over. He's got that tells you they're already too big. So you flip the waistband over to make him a little tighter. Then you tie him as tight as you can. That's what he's got going on right there.
And he's got him tied around. He's got him pulled and all the way around that flipped over waistband.
Yes, he does.
And retied.
He must have got one of his teammates' pants, and he must have lost his. These are a little big, guys.
Coach, I'm not a double X.
Exactly. Here's Mann with 10 seconds to go. Terrence trying to find some free space. Comes back out top now with 3. With 2. They're going to get a shot off. Didn't look like it. Mobley at the buzzer. Fires one up. No good. That's not recognition of what's going on with the time.
That's right. And he almost made that shot because he wrapped himself around his defender and flipped it. Hit the rim. Just a little bit short.
BABC leads after 1, 13-10, and they lead by 3 points thanks to the last 3-point shot. That was nailed by Thomas Mobley over here on the left wing. You're watching the AAU Nationals here from Louisville on the Basketball Channel. That was Scott Padgett right there. Look at that. Back out top. Here comes BABC. They lead by 3. Here's Mobley trying another 3. That one's off and long to the left, and it'll go out of bounds, and they'll turn it over.
To give people an idea how many coaches there are here, there are 54 in this gym. This is one of 18 courts.
Right.
With games being played at. So we know that they're spread out a little bit. Last night we had over 80 at one of the games. And so it's an amazing amount of coaches. I think that somebody told me earlier they had close to 300 already by this morning.
No, it's the funny thing is it goes from assistant coaches to D2, D3 coaches to Hall of Famers. I mean, Larry Brown hanging out here courtside again this afternoon.
That's right. And we've seen big name coaches throughout the weekend. And the weekend's just young.
Yeah. Just getting started. We got these games going on here on the Basketball Channel all the way through Monday. 7 minutes to go here in the first half. BABC with the lead. Into the game now is Tyree Robinson. He lost it for BABC. They're dressed in black. Here's Cowart for the Jackson Tigers down the lane. He's bumped and fouled. 13-12.
Tell you one thing, he's got those pants tight on tight, and he's not afraid to go to the hoop because of it.
Apparently it's a thing. You got a couple other guys here. Number 5.
Maybe it's a Jackson tight.
Look at Leroy Buchanan. He's got him flipped over twice. Leroy does. He's down here at the other end.
It's a style thing.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Or maybe somebody just made a very poor order. We do have a player on the court who we don't know who that is. That's number 23. We need to get a name on number 23 if we can.
They always sneak one in.
Yep, Cowart's next free throw is good, and the game is tied at 13-13. 6:40 to go here in the second quarter. 14-13, I should say. The scoreboard says now. Here at Freedom Hall. Here's Brown with it. Alongside Van Coleman, I'm Brett Grant. Glad you're with us here on the Basketball Channel. This is the third quarter final game. This is our 5th game today, Van?
This is our 5th game today.
5th game already.
We're going to set a Basketball Channel record by doing number 6. 5 has been the maximum. We're going to get number 6 in today.
There's a shot blocked by Santos. Had his shot blocked, and Cowart the other way. Up on the window and a foul.
Before they let us go home. or back to the hotel, as it were. We would like to thank the AAU for having us be part of this great event here and opening up this mecca of basketball history, Freedom Hall, to our cameras and to the play for these kids. It's got to be a great thrill for these kids to play in this place. It is a wonderful, wonderful situation for all.
Free throw by Coward is good. He's been to the line quite a bit tonight. Makes them both. And Jackson's got the lead for the first time tonight. They lead 15-13. Here's Brown. Over to Mobley, back over to Santos. In the game for Jackson, number 23, who's unfortunately not on our. So I'm going to give him number. Well, I can't give him 22. That kid's 6'11". That kid's not 6'11". So we got to figure out who number 23 is on our roster. Down low into the game is the big guy, Christian Wilkins, for BABC.
Our staff people are working. Our staff people are working hard on trying to figure it out themselves.
We're putting the heat on him. Look at Christian. He got the gold shoes on. Look like he's going to a wrestling match.
Well, you know, after last night,
he'd be a heavyweight wrestler, wouldn't he?
After last night, he had a really good game. He's out styling and profiling with those gold shoes.
He's pulling a little Jerome action for us as well, right?
You got to go out and brand yourself, baby. For those of you who are football fans, Boston College, Florida State, Penn State, Ohio State, Stanford, and others are recruiting him for football. He's considered one of the 10 top defensive tackles in the country. So we said he had a guy that we go to war with. We're taking him with us because we know we got our back covered when he's with us.
He's our bodyguard, no doubt about it. Jarikus Davis into the game as well for Jackson. A couple substitutions also into the game. Khalil Turner back into the game. 15-13. We're going to give number 23 to Quincy Weatherspoon. Their roster's a little mixed up. They had two number 10s in here. I was calling the original number 10 Antonio Coward. We might have him reversed, but I'm going with number 10 being Coward since I've been calling that all game. And we'll go with Quindary Weatherspoon, number 23. There's Christian. Top-ranked defensive lineman, 6'5" from Springfield, Mass. Big kid. 15-13, low-scoring first half. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in it. There's a steal, and Brown misses the dunk, but he's fouled. Got to finish that one, don't you, there, Van?
Yeah, you do. When you get in that close, you got to get the ball up to the rim and get it in the hoop. You never know how many possessions you're going to have. You know, and right now, BABC struggled the last 3 minutes and have not scored.
No reason to miss that dunk. No reason at all. Missed the free throws. Now instead of having 2 points on the possession, you got no more than one max, provided he makes the second free throw. You're down by 2 in a low-scoring game, so every possession is going to be important, especially as we get deeper in the second half. Makes the second one, does Brown. One-point game, 15-14, 3:52 to go here in the half. Turner inbounds. Coward. Back into the game is number 14, Sean Buchanan. Out top, knocked away, nearly stolen. There's a free face, and Witherspoon off the window, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Mann got it, but they're going to say he got fouled.
Now the Tigers are missing one of their star players, Malik Newman, who's with Team USA. And he's a young man at 6'4", 6'5", who can really fill it up.
There's a steal. Up and in now. To the basket in the jam for Tyree Robinson. Nice move. He got there quick. Going to call a technical foul for hanging on the rim. They are going to call a technical foul. Let's take a look at it. Nice move by Robinson. I don't know you give him a technical here. I mean, he's got some pressure there. Yeah, maybe. Okay. He did a chin-up.
It didn't look as bad in real time as it did after we watched.
Right, well, it's slow motion.
Replay.
Yeah, anytime you do that pull-up.
Maybe the ref was seeing it in slow motion.
Yeah.
That could have been it. I don't know that I would have called that. I don't think it was that big a deal. I don't think he was trying to show anybody up either. There were a couple guys underneath him.
There was a
couple guys underneath him, and I think he was holding the clear because he knew they were there.
So a timeout on the floor as well, 16-15, and Robinson gets a technical foul.
I will tell you, if Leo Papil thought it was him trying to do that, he would be in his player's face. He's not. He's asking the ref about the play.
He's describing something I'm not sure what Leo's talking about here with the referees. I think he moved on to some other subject, but you see Christian Wilkins stand up, and you're like, wow, he towers. That's a big boy. Gets out of the picture, everybody's normal size again, right?
1, 2, 3.
Christian Wilkins from Suffield Academy. There in the Boston area. Got a couple players from Vermont. The Tilton School in New Hampshire. Some guys from Boston, Mass. Team based out of Roxbury, and the free throw is no good. We're going with Antonio Cowart at the foul line here.
Load that dirty water.
And we might be changing in the second half. We'll get clarification on who actually is number 10 and who actually is number 23, since my program has 2 number 10s. Second free throw is good. 16-16, 3:20 to go here in the first half.
And see, the problem is the program says 6'5" for Quindary Witherspoon. He's actually 6'3". I was reading another article on the EYBL, was trying to check on something about his lineage, whether he was related to other Witherspoons who've been very successful out of that part of the country, and couldn't get that answer. But did find he had a different height in that event.
See, I look at number 10 right here in front of me. He doesn't look like he's 6'5" or 6'3". He's 6'2". That's why I'm kind of makes a little sense playing that spot. I could be completely wrong. 3:05 left to go here in the half.
But it's grassroots basketball. Occasionally a number is not what it's supposed to be, and you live with that until you figure it all out.
Terrence Mann has his shot blocked, and it goes out of bounds, and it's going to belong to the Jackson Tigers. So 16-16, low-scoring game, full court pressure, not much tempo in this game. 16 fouls on
well, you remember
Jackson.
Last night, Coach Papil said that if he can keep the game under 50, he thought his team had a chance to win any game they were in. And so he's not worried about how many points they score. He's worried about the efficiency of how they score. And I don't think he's real happy with the way the game's. Matter of fact, I look at him over there sitting on the bench, and he does not look happy.
He might need a rolling. I'm not sure. He doesn't look too happy.
He just does not look happy. I'm not sure which is worse, whether his dog's mad, we hear him bark every once in a while, or if it's the fact that Leo's not real happy with the way this game's being played.
Does have one of his players, that's what he was talking about, Mobley, got his lower lip split, and you see him there across the court being tended to, and I think that's what Leo was talking about with the referees. He kept gesturing to his mouth, and now I know why. Here's Santos.
Well, I think he was saying you called the technical on a minor hang, and I got a guy with a split lip, and he didn't get anything going.
Right, exactly. Here's Brown with it out top left side now for Santos, around the horn for Mann. Looking inside, Terrence picks up his dribble, finds a friendly face, gets to Bobby Martin. Inside shot taken, no good. Tap up, no good. Tap again, no good. Several chances for Terrence Mann and Brown. Now Brown gets the steal, loses it back, gets it back, puts it up, no good. Many chances here for BABC, and finally they're rewarded with a whistle.
I don't think that Leo would be very happy with the execution of that offensive sequence.
That was just go to the glass, boys. Here's Mann. He'll try a three. He's open for the first time tonight for three and missed it. Rebound to Cowart. 1:55 to go here in the first half. 16-16.
Got to find some offense here. This is almost like going back 45 or 50 years.
Yeah, this game's set in basketball. They're going to put peach baskets up in the second half. In the lane, shot up no good. A rebound shot no good. And another whistle foul. Yeah, this one's.
I'm waiting for the
I guess you don't care.
I'm waiting for the Coos to come on the floor.
I guess you don't care if you win, but this one is not exciting. Let's put it that way. So far for a tie game. At some point you got to make a shot. Free throw on the way, and that's good by Quindary Weatherspoon from Velma Jackson High, 6'5". He doesn't look 6'5" either, so I'm not sure who's who. He might be 6'2". We probably do have him reversed around. Missed the second one. That was either Antonio Coward or Quindary Weatherspoon. The only one that knows for sure are the two mothers. They know who their sons are, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. 1:20 to go here in the first half. Here's Brown out top now for Santos. Had a room in the lane there, decided not to go for it. Could have split that D. Inside, Terrence Mann went to go take a shot, decided against it, turned it over. Here's Coward. All the way, nice pass off, and the basket is good by Kalia Turner. 19-16, 50 seconds to go here in the half. Here's Santos, back to Mann. Out top now for Brown. It looks like they're going to hold on for one. 35 seconds to go, 19-16.
Well, Jackson has outscored BABC 10-3 over the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game. It was 13-9, and ever since then, it's been all Jackson.
20 seconds, and Santos will try and get his team ready for the final shot here of the half. Down by 3. Santos over to Brown. Brown with 7. Into Santos. Down low from Martin. He traveled, got away with it, and a foul. Bobby Martin looked like he came out of the sprinter's block. He took 3 or 4 steps.
I don't know, a little bit.
It looked like he traveled to me.
That was one of those plays where how many steps you get?
Well, apparently he was still good. Free throw by Martin is no good. Things aren't good here. I'm sure BABC will be happy to switch baskets because this one's got a lock on.
They get down to that one they can hear. That'll make a difference.
Second free throw good. 3.2 to go here in the half.
Get down.
Long inbound pass is tipped and stolen by Robinson. Robinson at the buzzer. Finger roll good, and we are tied.
Finally figured out how to get it down in this quarter on that end.
And Robinson got the steal, got the basket, and we are at the break. 19-19 between BABC and the Jackson Tigers in the third quarterfinal matchup here of the gold bracket of the Super Showcase of the AAUs in Louisville, Kentucky. Here of our third quarterfinal matchup between BABC out of Boston and the Jackson Tigers from Jackson, Mississippi. And Van, let's hope we're under the wheel and the wheel keeps spinning and things get better because this is an ugly basketball game.
Well, I know it isn't. I thought, we said it was 19-19. I thought we were talking about the year we were playing it in. This is one the kids can't be proud of, but the kids are going to come out. They're going to battle in the second half. We're going to see this game change around. Defense is dominated. Guys got to be a little sharper about the shots they take and maybe make sure that they're a little more efficient on the offensive end. Both these teams have played hard on the defensive end, but they've been sloppy with the basketball.
That's for sure. And of course, we did have the numbers reversed here in the first half, so our apologies to the families of Antonio Coward and Quindary Weatherspoon. Coward wears number 23. He got his name mentioned a lot in the first half as number 10, and Quindary Weatherspoon, who actually is number 10, didn't get mentioned at all. But he's the one we were talking about with the shorts too for a while. So he's got the basketball right now. All right, Quindary needs to have a couple of hamburgers, get some waste on him. We'll be good to go. Here's Buchanan out top.
I think you're right. I think it's a statement of the Jackson Tigers. I think it's a Jackson thing.
There's a steal by Brown. A little up pressure, a fast break. Brown all the way lays it in. That's modern basketball. They hustle down the floor, 21-19. We'll see if one team wants to up tempo. Jackson's going to say, all right, we'll take some tempo as well. Hopping right to the hole and getting fouled there was Tristan Wally.
Both teams attacking the basket on each end. Something we didn't see a lot of in the first half. You see there? Nice little lay-in.
Yep.
Quick run out for BABC.
Maybe they're just pacing themselves.
Well, that could be. Well, you know, it's like this. If anybody in the gym should be tired, it's you and I.
Right.
Because we've been with this is game number 5.
Yeah, we haven't had a break yet.
Nope. We've had what I call
slave driver Scott back.
I would call runs. We haven't had breaks. You run to the bathroom and you get right back to the bathroom and get right back here.
Yeah. 21-21 our score. Both free throws good. It was 19-19 at the break. We're tied at 21 right now. After both free throws were made by Tristan Welly, 6'8" kid, senior to be from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Terrence Mann with the basketball. He wears number 14. 6'5" kid, part of the prep school from Tilton School in New Hampshire. Down low, Martin. Martin looking for help. Skip it over to the left side. Ball's knocked away and stolen. Here's Buchanan.
You know, you got to give Jackson credit. Terrence Mann last night was an offensive force, where tonight they've really taken him out of the game. They forced him to get the ball in position where he can handle it. Last night he had the ball at the top of the key a lot. They haven't been able to get him the ball in that position and isolate him up top. Of course, Jackson had the ability to come and scout that game last night and see what Pipil was doing with his offense, and they've done a good job of taking that away.
Nice move inside. Tristan Welly again. He's got 4.5. 23-21. Jackson on top. Here's Brown, guarded by Sean Buchanan. Right side for Mann. Back to Brown. Looking inside. Trying to get the feet in there for Miller. Couldn't do it. So they come back out top for Brown. Still looking for Miller. Now he's got it out top. Down in the corner for Mann. Left wing. Nothing doing there. He's got Martin down in the left corner now and passes on that. Now he goes left side.
They're running this 2-3 matchup, and it's really confused BABC.
There's an offensive foul on the inside. Jeremy Miller threw an elbow, and Whaley drew the foul.
And you can see that with the frustration that Jeremy Miller just showed, throwing that elbow down low, trying to clear out.
There it is right there. He definitely initiated the contact. Whaley was saying, I'm not letting you go through, and he's entitled to that space. We talked about Miller last game. He's a kid who doesn't score a lot of points, but defensively he was a disruptor for BABC, blocking shots in that first game against All Ohio Red.
He blocks shots. He's a good passer, and when he goes out to the high post, does some things. You know, he's got some schools, Boston College, Maryland, Providence, Temple. They've all shown some major interest in him, and I think they're looking at him as a project, maybe a couple years down the road where he could put some extra weight on, maybe develop one significant offensive move down low, and then he's got that nice little jumper when he pops out, because he hit a 3 last night, the one shot I think he had last night.
Tyree Robinson gets the foul and misses the free throw. 23-21, Jackson on top of BABC. That's Boston Athletic Basketball Club, what that stands for. We've got one more semifinal or quarterfinal game to go after this one between the All-Iowa Attack and Boo Williams Summer Club.
You know, the funny thing, we just watched Howard Pulley play in the last game, and one of their past stars and the guy that led them to a championship at the Peach Jam at one time, Jake Sullivan. Okay. Played at Iowa State, will be coaching with the All-Iowa Attack, and you know, it's kind of one of those things that you look for and see on a national basis occasionally.
We are told we will have a delay between games. They're going to clear the ice in the building, bring the Zamboni out, and maybe shovel some snow off the roof. It's freezing in here, Van.
That is true. It is very, very
like
cold.
42 degrees in here.
Very cold. I didn't bring a coat. I live in Las Vegas,
I'm
Nevada.
with you. Lucky if
I have coats.
Lucky if I own a coat.
I have them, but they belong to me in my Iowa days, and they're still in my closet. But I didn't bring them to Louisville, Kentucky in the summertime.
Mothballs. Gonna run outside and go visit the truck in between games. There's a shot taken, a steal by Santos, slammed home by Brown for BABC. And they regain the lead, 24-23. 4:45 to go here in the third. A little more tempo here in this quarter. Pressure, Brown gets the steal. Spins away from Buchanan, lays it in. That's 6 for Bruce Brown here in the quarter. three-point game and timeout called by the Jackson Tigers. So some pressure defense here, Van, by BABC, and they turn this thing around.
Well, I tell you, that's their signature. They've got to come out. They got to get after you, play hard, be efficient when they do get the ball. Nice rebound and put back. That's the kind of thing that makes their team work. They attack the basket. They don't give anything up. And Bruce Brown has been a guy that, you know, last night had a big game. Tonight seems to be wanting to pick it up and be the guy that's going to be the catalyst. They needed that because Terrence Mann has basically been out of this game. You know, I made a faux pas. Jake used to coach all Iowa Tech. He moved on and formed Kingdom Hoops, and so I guess we won't see that matchup, but we will see some of the best kids from the Midwest for the All-Iowa Attack show their wares. And you talk about, you know, we talked about the Wisconsin team earlier, and the patience and the shooting ability. You're going to see that with the All-Iowa Attack. Boo Williams, you're going to see athletes. You're going to see guys that are confident and played the national level for a long, long time. Maybe an interesting dichotomy tonight in the last game.
There's a triple by Santos, and it's now 29-23, I should say, a 6-point lead, and a turnover by Jackson. So BABC doing it with defensive pressure. They got basket, turnover, three-point shot, 7 straight. They trailed 23-22.
I'm real good at the turnover part.
All right. Here's Terrence Mann. Over to Brown, who's been their catalyst here in the third quarter. And Santos, the backcourt combo getting it done. They took Miller out of the game, Van, after that offensive foul that he took. And since then, offensively, they've been much better.
Well, you know, when you've got a young man who doesn't look for a shot very often, and he's there for defensive reasons, sometimes it breaks down a little bit of the motion that you want to do. Other games, it's a necessity because they need that inside. But right now, Jackson hasn't been able to get the ball inside and do any damage. So as long as they remain perimeter oriented, I think it's an advantage to BABC to be with the smaller lineup.
Amani Santos guarded by Witherspoon out top. Around the left side now with the basketball is Martin. Into the hole goes. Nice move by Bobby Martin Jr. 8-point game. And it's a 9-0 run by BABC. Here's Buchanan all the way. Probably traveled, tied up. Possession arrow goes the way of Boston.
That was great defense on that one. I think he was looking for the foul. They held on to the ball. Great job.
In the midst of a 9-0 run here. To take what was a 1-point deficit, now it's an 8-point lead. Santos with a nice move around Witherspoon all the way to the basket. Scoop it up to him, cutting Robinson for the dunk. Tyree Robinson. 11 straight for BABC. Witherspoon nearly lost it. A little frazzled. He'll lob it up and lay it in. Nice play to Buchanan for the layup. So that stops the 11-0 run.
That was one of those plays where they attacked the basket in the open court, something they haven't been doing very well, and got a bucket. They scored one other time in this quarter early doing the same thing.
33-25 with 2:10 to go here in the third. Tough pass, nearly stolen, not stolen. Nice job by Martin to keep it. Now he's in trouble looking for help. He's all over the place looking for help. Finds Santos. Bounce pass to Mann right side. Mann picks up his dribble as Jackson brings the extra pressure. Robinson has it tipped out of bounds, but it's going to stay with Boston. So Jackson really bringing the defensive intensity up as well.
Well, they've got to do that because they got to get back into this one. They're down 8. They can't afford to let this get to be double digits going into the fourth quarter, because I'll tell you what, BABC will just melt it with the pass. They're gonna just milk you and force you to foul them.
There's Mann on the inside. I think that's the first basket of the game for Mann. 1:45 to go in the quarter. There's a steal. Mann to Brown. Brown to the hole. Lay it in.
Tell you what, Bruce Brown really knows how to seal somebody off when he goes to the rim.
This pressure's really got Jackson flustered. They now trail by 12. Up ahead, Turner. Pump fake, put it up, blocked from behind by Martin. And out of bounds, it's going to belong to Boston. Great hustle and great defense by BABC.
I'll tell you, I don't know what Leo Papil said at halftime.
I can imagine. It was a little salty, probably.
But whatever it was, he should put it in a bottle and then only bring it out when he has to. And tonight he had to bring it out, and he got everything he wanted.
I think he probably told him, do you know how many miles it is from Louisville to Boston? Because you're going to hoof it the whole way back.
That's right.
If you guys don't give me some effort.
And you can see the turnaround of the game. The Jackson Tigers now with 10 turnovers, BABC with 6. At halftime, that was even.
1:10 to go, 30 in the third quarter, and there's a bump and a foul out top. 37-25, it was a big 11-0 run, sparked by Bruce Brown. In that run, now 13-2 run, basically, or I should say 15-2 run. In that run now, 15-2, Brown's got about 8 points.
Yeah, he's been the catalyst. He's been the guy that's really turned this game around.
Santos had a three-pointer in that spot. Mann had a bucket. Robinson had a bucket. That's what it is. It's 8 for Brown in that stretch.
And they forced, I think, 4 or 5 turnovers in that same grouping, and where the defense really picked it up, forced them to make mistakes with the basketball.
40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. What was a 19-19 game at halftime. 18 points in the third quarter for BABC. Brown trying to get away from trouble. Double teamed. The man knocked away and turned over. Up ahead for Witherspoon. Hop to the hole, and he's fouled by Brown. He'll get a couple free throws.
Maybe he just piped in our comments about how ugly the game was and how we'd gone back to 1919.
Yeah.
That could have been all it was. These kids today don't like you talking about the game being played 100 years ago.
Free throw by Witherspoon is no good. A lot of free throws tonight for Witherspoon. He missed them both. Can't be down 12 missing your free throws. They're going to give you free points. You got to take them.
Yeah, they need to stop here just to keep within touch in this game.
10 seconds to go in the quarter. BABC. It's Amanhi Santos with the basketball. Left side for Mann with 3. Down the lane he goes and hop to the hole and lay it in. Beautiful move by Terrence Mann. There's the acceleration and the elevation from Terrence Mann.
That's right. That's what we saw all last night, attacking the basket, getting to the rim. He hasn't been able to do that. They took it away most of the game. All of a sudden, he explodes. That's not a good sign for the fourth quarter for the Jackson Tigers.
39-25, a 17-2 run sparked by great defense by that man, Bruce Brown. Back with more from the AAU Nationals here on the Basketball Channel. Back here in Louisville, Kentucky, the Super Showcase of the AAUs and a huge third quarter for BABC, Van.
No doubt about it. A 20-6 run. That's a run. That's not a quarter. They just absolutely took Jackson out of their game. Great defense. Bruce Brown was phenomenal, scoring 8 points during the quarter and led his ball club and freed up Terrence Mann to start to become part of their offense.
Off the bench for the first time is Kavante Turpin. 5'9" kid, made a nice running basket. That ends a 17-2 run by BABC. So it's now 39-27. And here's a turnover, a pass to the official. He was actually inbounds and open.
You know, the funny thing is, Santos is talking to Mann like it was his fault.
Right.
I'm like, no, dude, you threw that pass that who could have caught that? I mean, Manute Bowl? I don't know who's going to catch that pass.
Turpin back into the game, I should say. Buchanan.
I'm not sure Wilt could have caught that one, and he had a 40-inch plus vertical.
Now here's Coward. Nearly a bad pass. Turpin got it back. A little 5'9" jitterbug into the lane. Nice pass, and there's a whistle and a foul. And to the line will go Tristan Wally.
Now, one thing BABC cannot do is get complacent here. All of a sudden, the defense isn't at the same level. They've let him penetrate into the lane a couple times. That's not going to help your ball club. They get back under 10, we got a ball game again.
Wally made his free throws last time at the line. He makes the first here on this trip. 7:09 to go in the game. It was a 19-19 game at halftime.
This is a big one to get it back to 10 points right at the start of the fourth quarter.
Made them both. Didn't waste his time, Mr. Wally does. He gets the basketball from the official and just fires it up. I like that. None of these gyrations, flipping the ball around, dribble 3 times. Just give me the ball and I'll shoot it.
But you don't like dribble 3 times, spin it 4 or 5.
Blow on it, kiss your fingers, you know. kiss the ball. Who's the guy in the NBA that kisses the ball all the time?
I don't know.
There was somebody who was doing that for a while. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Here's Brown for BABC. They lead by 10. Over to Santos, 39-29. Around a pick from Robinson. Tyrese had a couple of exciting highlight dunks tonight, number 32. Santos behind the back and through the legs and down the lane to lay it up. No good, missed the layup. Terrence Mann gets the rebound, though. Mann dribbles it out of trouble, gets it back from Martin. Bobby Martin Jr. Here's Mann, right wing, down the lane, lost it, made a bad pass, stolen by Turner.
Had no reason to pass it. That was a shot there. He had the open 6-footer. Take the shot.
Here's Cowart down the lane, leave it for Wally. His tough shot, no good. Tap up by Turner, no. And rebound out of there by Brown.
Bruce Brown, that's that man. If you need a ball, he'll go get it.
Up to Robinson, kiss it off the glass and good. Nice pass from Brown to Robinson. There's no doubt who's been the player of the game in this one. It's been Bruce Brown.
Oh yeah, I think that's a definite.
And there's a near steal out of bounds. Martin knocked it out of the hands of Cowart, out of bounds. Brown couldn't quite save it. Back into the game comes Witherspoon. And also back into the game comes Jacarius Davis for Jackson. Davis wears number 31. He's right there in the middle from Provine High School. Got the basketball right now. Into the corner for Buchanan. Out top, jumper on the way from Witherspoon. It's short, and Brown got the rebound. He recognized the air ball before Wally did.
Brown has a heck of a motor. He's always seems to be around the basketball.
Brown all the way down the lane, lost it, had it knocked away by Wally. So a steal, still sitting on 10. Now Robinson gets the steal, and he's literally hopping along like a cat on a hot tin roof along the scores table. Hop, hop, hop.
There were some worried faces over there that not only was he might get
I think
hurt,
the dog was worried.
He was going over the top and taking a few people with him.
You get a replay of that. That was a nice dancing there by Tyree Robinson. We would have heard the dog yelping. I think that's where the dog's hiding back there.
I'm not sure. Somebody might have lost their phone too. I think he got a phone while he
there you go.
Went up over the top.
Shot by Wally, no good. 5 minutes and
I don't know if it was the dog, if it was the dog's phone or if it was Leo's phone, but I think he got a phone.
Here's Santos. 12-point game at 41-29. It was a 19-19 game at the break. Left side Martin. Bobby Martin Jr. 6'6", part of the class of 2016. Now to Santos. He's doubled along the right side. Comes back out top. Guarded by a diminutive defender as well, and Kevontae Turpin. All the way, Santos, he missed the layup, but he's fouled. One-on-one, literally number one on number one.
I was just thinking that we definitely had a one-on-one matchup there between the 2 point guards.
Here's Santos. Amani, 5'11" from Catholic Memorial High.
That just shows you have more guts than me. I did not want to throw that one in. I was like thinking it, and I'm going, oh, I don't know. Do I want to use that one?
I think we long passed the line of being cheesy, haven't we?
I think
we passed that about 5 hours ago.
I think we're cheese whiz is what I think we are.
I think we passed that back. Let's see, it's about 9 o'clock Eastern time right now. We've been here for about 8 hours. Yeah, we passed that a long time ago. Santos makes the free throw. 42-29, missed the first. 13-point lead, Buchanan. Across the timeline for Turpin. Down the lane he looks to go, finds a teammate, but knocked it out of bounds. Tough catch, he got himself stuck in the air. He was looking for the lob and it wasn't there.
Yeah, he was looking for the lob or the shot, and he was not in a position to catch the basketball. It's a tough thing for point guards just to learn when to make the pass. And it's not after the defense takes your offense away. Which unfortunately is when too many kids make that pass.
4:10 to go in the game. 42-29. Here's Martin. Into the lane for Mann. Nice catch off the tip and lays it in. Terrence Mann. And now we got a whistle away from the ball. Gonna have, I guess, a warning on Terrence Mann for not for touching the basketball as it came out through the hoop.
Here we go. We're getting officials evaluated. Gotta make that call. I don't even think that was a big deal.
Yeah. Here's a jump shot on the way. Nice shot, but did not go in for Davis. Had a good look from 15 feet, just rattled out for him.
It was a legitimate call. It may not have been a call you would normally make in a regular game because he did nothing but hand it right to the guy that was going to throw it in.
Sometimes the ball ends up in your lap. You have no choice. You think, well, it's going to hit me in the face if I don't grab it, so I'm just going to grab it.
Yep, and or it's just a reactionary thing because it comes right straight into your body.
There's a look at it. He's just being helpful. He's just being helpful. There's nobody around.
Yep.
He should get an assist on that play too, right? Let me get the ball for you. His mom would be happy he's being unselfish. He'll take care of that for you, buddy. Here you go. Martin inbound. He does, gets it into man. 15-point game. It's our biggest lead tonight at 44-29.
It might be our biggest lead in all of our games.
It is, yeah. I don't think it's anywhere close.
It's like we had a 12 or a 13 point in one of the games, but that was it.
Ironically, we had a 12-point game in the first one, which was a close game the whole way through, an 11-point win in our second quarterfinal matchup. This one looking like a double-figure game as well. So we've had tight games early, but not in the fourth quarter. Santos playing peekaboo over there. There I am. Nope, no, I'm not.
It's either been a third quarter escape like in this game, or it's been about the middle of the fourth quarter. The game just goes from being close to being comfortable lead and a finish.
There comes that man again, Terrence Mann, 6 in the quarter. After not really doing much in the first half. Here's Weatherspoon down the lane. He jumped a little up and down violation there, traveling. It's all kind of unraveled here for Jackson in the second half. It was 19-19 at halftime, and they have been outscored by a lot. Only 10 points in the second half for them. Outscored 27-10 here in the second half. 46-29.
In reality, BABC, who did not have a good offensive first half, is basically just around their average. They're only 55 to 60 points a game overall. They had a bad first half, and looks like they're going to end up around 50 to 52. And
they got to be happy with their defensive effort, giving up what's going to be probably 30 points. There's a turnover. Back the other way comes Sean Buchanan. Working on Santos all the way. Blocked by Brown. Put up and good, though, on the inside by Weatherspoon.
Good trail pursuit on that one by the Jackson Tigers.
See if Jackson wants to foul. There is a foul, but it's only the fourth team foul. They'll be fouling for a while before they get to the bonus.
Yeah, this could be the longest minute and 45 seconds in the history of AAU and Super Showcase basketball. Because I think we're going to see a lot of fouls. Unless the Jackson Tiger coach thinks that it's not going to get him back in the game.
I think he thinks that it's not going to get him back in the game. He doesn't look too interested over there. There's Santos with it out top. End of the game, Araujo. Played a lot the other night, not so much tonight. First time in the game for him. We have not seen, by the way, Thomas Mobley, who split his lip in the first half. You see him on the bench down there, very end of the bench with his...
he may have to go get a couple stitches in that lip.
He's got a, it looks like a piece of gauze attached to his mouth down there. You see him right there in the top of your screen on the left-hand side, standing right behind Bruce Brown, sitting behind Brown, I should say. (46-31) with 53 seconds left to go in the game. Martin inbound. One more final quarterfinal to go. The All-Iowa attack against Boo Williams Summer League coming up. That's our last quarterfinal matchup, and then the winners will get together tomorrow afternoon right here on the Basketball Channel 120. It'll be Expressions Elite taking on the Alabama Challenge in our first semifinal game, and it'll be BABC against the winner of our late game coming up in the semifinals of the Super Showcase here at the AAU Nationals. Here's Martin with 22 seconds to go in the game. The only thing that's yet to be decided is the final score, and it might just be 41-36. Nobody's interested in doing anything right now. Al Martin says, I'll go in there and lay it in. Why not? So never mind. Bobby Martin says, I'll score some points. 48-31. 5 seconds to play. Here's Buchanan. Gives it off, and the running one-hander off the back iron and out. And the final score is 48-31, a 17-point win for BABC with a huge 29-12 second half. All BABC with a huge third quarter, and they pulled away with a 17-2 run.
And it was all about Bruce Brown and his defense and leading his club back. He got it started. Terrence Mann joined him. It was over after that, baby.